1971 war in Bangladesh. He had advanced from north along axis Kamalpur, Bakshiganj, Jamalpur, Tangel, Dhaka, and he was just 22 years old. As always in the front line with his battalion, the 1st Marathas. I also have with me Shanta Farjana, who's a senior vice chairman, Natun Dhara, Bangladesh NBD. It's lovely to have both of you on the telecast with me. I'm going to start my conversation on this very important moment in the history of the liberation of Bangladesh. Bangladesh's National Day that was commemorated yesterday. Mr. Basant Ponwar, how important does it become and significant, especially when the Prime Minister of India reaches out to Muhammad Yunus and particularly specifically speaks about the liberation war and India's significant importance in fighting off and warding off the attacks of the Pakistanis to ensure liberation and freedom for the Bangladeshis?
The Honorable Prime Minister has always ventured for peace in his country and all over the world, especially the neighboring countries. Bangladesh during that time, the Awami League had got total mandate in both East and West Pakistan. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's party, he was going to become the Prime Minister of both Pakistans. And that's when the genocide was ordered. Genocide was ordered by the West Pakistanis and confusion started. How can you eradicate your own people? How can you ill-treat your own people? And that is what the West Pakistanis were doing. Then came the time when refugees started coming across our border in Bangladesh, across in West Bengal, in Tripura, in North Bengal, all over these places, refugees started coming in. Poor people, no house, no nothing. And we came and we ventured out as per our culture to go and help each other. And I was the second lieutenant that time, just out of the IMA a year or so, 22 years old, and we were in the front line most of the time. We started from Kamalpur on the night of 3rd, 4th December, went in, surrounded Bakshiganj, surrounded Jamalpur later, crossed the Brahmaputra river, and then entered Dhaka on 16 December. En route, a very major battle was fought on the night of 10th, 11th December at Jamalpur, where the Pakistanis attacked our roadblock position. We had gone to rescue the people in distress, the damsel in distress, people in distress, people are going through genocide. The West Pakistanis were killing university students, university instructors. How can you do that? And that was the time when we had to bring peace to our neighbor. We helped them out. In 16 December, the Pakistani garrison there, they surrendered to the Indian forces. I was there on that evening and I'm privy to the cries of Indian Army Zindabad, Indian Army Zindabad, and all those good things which happened in a victory. It was a very swift victory. It was just 12 days. Started on 4th December, 16 December, we were in Dhaka.
Right, absolutely. But how significant it is that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written to Muhammad Yunus, particularly in wake of this strife that both countries face in terms of tensions that have emerged after the exile of Sheikh Hasina, who is right now safeguarded and protected here in India.
You see, when a nation is born, it ventures for development, economic development, social development, political development, military development, psychological development. It becomes a nation. The nation of Bangladesh from East Pakistan, it was growing economically, it was growing politically. And then suddenly, parties from within, people from within Bangladesh, destroying their own nation. They started burning places. They started hanging people upside down. Now, this is not part of humanity. You can't do this to your own people. And all the museums and all which I visited in later years have got destroyed. Images have got destroyed. The heroes have been distorted. A hero is a hero, a hero is for life. You cannot distort him. And then the Honorable Prime Minister has now given them compliments for the Victory Day, 25th of March, and in his whole attitude and his whole wishes, he has hoped that as soon as possible Bangladesh settles down and the elections are conducted and the government process takes place.
How do you view in the last few months there has been complete and utter chaos in Bangladesh? There have been large-scale protests which have turned violent. We saw that the people of Bangladesh, or at least certain sections of the Bangladeshi community, refused to respect and recognize the sacrifices that were made by Mujibur Rahman. The fact that his statue itself was brought down, desecrated, peed on, trampled upon. What does this signify in terms of where Bangladesh is headed today?
I would reiterate that do not destroy your own country. Come to a conclusion. At present, it is leaderless. There is no leader who can show them the way. So the crowd becomes the crowd leader and goes and destroys for whatever you like. How do you go and destroy a Honorable Prime Minister's house and carrying away his furniture and all? This is atrocious. This is not human lives. It's not a way a human in a developed country should live. And the confusion has to be stopped. In fact, at various angles where I have lectured, I have said the first and foremost, peace must return or made to return. And then proper election take place, correct a leader, and the entire population, young and old, must respect their leader and follow his instruction and follow the instructions of government.
It is also interesting to know that Muhammad Yunus is on a trip to Beijing. He is going to be meeting the Chinese Premier Xi Jinping in a bid to further foster ties between China and Bangladesh. Does this impact India, and how?
See, he will go to other places around and he'll go and meet Xi Jinping in China and Beijing. Well, that's fine. He will go to across the Atlantic, across the Pacific Oceans. He will go all places. But the point is, having gone to all these places, you come back with an intention to bring peace. Come back with the intention to conduct elections. And we are all the time available for any help, any assistance required in this score, so that the people of Bangladesh do not suffer. They get their 2 meals a day, they get their job, they get their happiness, they can celebrate festivals and all such things.
There has also been a request that has been put in by Muhammad Yunus's office to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's office for a bilateral meet on the sidelines of BIMSTEC that takes place on 3rd and 4th of April in Bangkok. Right now, the Prime Minister's office and Ministry of External Affairs is mum on whether there is a confirmation from the side of the Prime Minister whether he'll accept this invitation to hold that bilateral meeting. How significant will this, whether the Prime Minister accepts it or refuses to hold a meeting with Muhammad Yunus, and how will it impact the future of relationship between both countries?
The Honorable Prime Minister, as I mentioned earlier, is always for peace. He has been to both sides in the Ukraine and Russian activities, and so on and so forth. So he will, I get a personal feeling, he will accept it, because Bangladesh is our neighbor, and Bangladesh should not be in turmoil like this. Let us talk it over. Let us resolve conflicts by conversation, not by firing big rockets and bombs across each other and airstrikes and whatnot. So this should happen so that our eastern side and Bangladesh are in peaceful hands.
There has also been a congratulatory message that has been sent out by Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State of the United States of America, to Muhammad Yunus on Bangladesh National Day. This happened day before yesterday that the letter came out, and again he has also persisted that and pushed forward for a stable, fair elections to take place at the soonest possible in Bangladesh. But in the current scheme of things, is that even a possibility for Bangladesh to hold, and will it be possible to hold free and fair elections?
On 25th March 1971, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman had said, called up all the youngsters, take up weapons and liberate your nation. That was the day the population said, we have a new nation and we have a new prime minister of that time. So now the situation is such that we must get back to peace irrespective who's in power and who's not in power. The government of the United States has sent this message based on 25th March, their Independence Day of the country. And all efforts by the major powers and by neighbors, by us, should be to bring peace to Bangladesh because the people are suffering tremendously. I have traveled crisscross Bangladesh. I've been to all these riversides and steamers and things, both during the wartime as a veteran and as a tourist, having gone to Kamalpur, Bakshiganj and all these places. I was the link-up officer, the two paras at the Pongli Bridge. So that should happen. Why should we suffer for nothing? We are suffering in Bangladesh for our own reason.
You know, there is been time and again concerns that have been raised by Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well over how the minorities, particularly Hindus and Christians in Bangladesh, are being treated. They are being persecuted. There have been incidents of lethal attacks, fatal attacks on Hindus living in Bangladesh. Something that has been reiterated by Tulsi Gabbard as well, who was in India, and she spoke about this, concerns about the atrocities on the minorities in Bangladesh. Do you think there is a glimmer of hope here that situation will improve under under Muhammad Yunus as the chief advisor?
Well, he has been reiterating that there will be peace. And as a matter of fact, minorities or that majorities, the fact of the matter is they are all national of that government, national of the state. They are citizen of that country. Whether you're a Hindu, Muslim or a Christian or any religion, you have decided to live in Bangladesh, erstwhile East Pakistan. You are a citizen of East Pakistan and now Bangladesh. Whether you're a Hindu or Muslim or a Christian living there, minorities, if you're killing the minorities, if you're destroying the minorities, you're destroying your own people. It's a very, very grave situation that the population must understand. If there is a temple for the minorities, go and destroy it. How does that happen? Because it is the same country, it's the same people. This has to be stopped, and the Honorable who's looking after the Bangladesh people now, the advisor must ensure by all means, by military, by police, by all, that violence gets stopped. And that is how peace will return to Bangladesh.
Thank you, Brigadier Basant Ponwar, for joining me, sharing your views, and of course,